And welcome everybody to another episode of LSU Live here on the Voice of College Football Network. We're your two co-hosts here on the LSU at the Voice of College Football Network channel. Grant Satchery, Zachary Junda. Uh, big time weekend here in Southern Louisiana as LSU, your Fighting Tigers, will advance to the College World Series for the 20th time in school history. They're one of seven schools that play college baseball that have had 20 or more College World Series appearances. That's a very small list. In that list, that includes Texas, USC. By the way, USC's won the Mustache Championships. Oklahoma State. I think it was Arkansas was one of them. I don't have the full list, but there that to be one of seven schools to have 20 or more college World Series appearances is a historic feat, especially for this Fighting Tiger program. They defeated West Virginia 12-5 in game two of the Diners Super Regional to get there. We already recapped game one. We're going to do a full recap of game two. We're going to discuss the impact that Anthony Eisen and Kate Anderson had on this team. We're also going to discuss, kind of preview the Arkansas game because LSU will be playing Arkansas once again to open the College World Series. Uh, there's one last game that has to be played, which is Murray State and Duke, and then after that game's over, the NCAA will release the schedule to give an idea of who's playing at what time, and so on and so forth. But we do know that LSU's on the right side of the bracket with, of course, we're playing Arkansas, and then the other two teams on our side of the bracket are the winner of Duke and Murray State and UCLA. That's what we know right now. But Zach, um, what you got to say about your Fighting Tigers, man?
Those damn 3 hour long sunshine delays. I hate those, but they made it worthwhile. Shout out to the people who waited out the storm that never showed up. But 20 appearances since '86 too, so that's 20 and 40 years. So you're looking at literally 50. It's 50-50 with if LSU makes Omaha or not. So good on them. I know it's only been a year-long absence, but that's too long around these parts. So glad to be back. And we said it Saturday. The path is there for them to not just get to Omaha, but potentially win the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, definitely. And I'm actually looking up to see who's had the most appearances real quick. So, of the teams that have had 20 or more appearances, Oklahoma State, of course, LSU, USC, Arizona State, Miami, and Texas has the most with 38. So that's a pretty elite company because I mean Miami's won five national championships. Well, yeah, they've won four national championships. Uh, Texas has won six national championships. So USC has the most with 12, I believe, what it was. Arizona State has five. They haven't won one since 1981. But for a very long time, Arizona State was a power. They kind of fell off too. Really, they've really fallen off. I mean, they're able to make the postseason for the first time since 2021, but it's been a very long time when Arizona State was kind of a team that you kind of expect to go to Omaha almost every single year. And then the other team, which LSU's tied with, is Oklahoma State, and their most recent appearance was 2016. They have been to the postseason the last 5 years, but they have not made it to this World Series since 2016. But once again,
lead off home run by Murray State just now, so it's already 1-0 Racers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Murray State's been hot too, and actually that game, Duke. I think Duke hasn't been to Omaha either. So it's a very so LSU's in a very interesting predicament because if you look at the left side of the bracket, it's teams that either expect to get there, or like they have been there in the last 5 years. While like if you look at if the right side of the bracket, it's just Arkansas and then UCLA, who's already in it. They're already in Omaha. They haven't been to Omaha since 2013. It's been 12 years since they've been to Omaha. And the last time they went to Omaha, they won the whole thing. And then Duke and Murray State had not been to Omaha before. So, if you're LSU, you're kind of in a little bit of an easier side of the bracket than, let's say, the left side of the bracket. The left side of the bracket has Arizona, Louisville, Coastal Carolina, and Oregon State. And all those programs that have a lot of success, right? And they kind of expect to get to Omaha. Zach, let's discuss this game real fast. But LSU wins 12-5. They were able to, hit the no. They kept their aggressive hitting style. I mean, they were so very aggressive at the plate. They had timely hitting. Like LSU's had, lots of success hitting the ball this year. I mean, they're in the top 10 in nearly every single hitting category. But the issue was with LSU was that they did not have timely hitting, and that was a huge that was huge. A lot of the issues they've had all year. So it wasn't the fact that they weren't hitting the ball; it was the fact that they weren't hitting the ball consistently. You know, when LSU had runners at base, when the bases were loaded. But it was the exact opposite in not only game one but game two.
Yeah, and we saw it Saturday too. West Virginia kind of, I don't want to say they gave you the game, but they gave LSU lots of free chances. I'm looking at the box score again. I count 9 walks, 3 hit batters, and LSU had 3 guys reach on air. So that's 15 extra chances that they gave you. And LSU, to their credit, they didn't blow them. Biggest example, probably in that second inning, where I can't remember how to say the kid's last name, but Cartsanis,
yeah.
Cartsanis, second inning gets 2 quick outs, so it's 2 outs in the second inning, and it's a 1-0 game, and then goes walk, and then for reasons I still don't understand, Steve Sabins did not get him, even though it was clear that that guy was cooked. He was laboring, he was breathing heavy. And this is your season, man. Like, there is no tomorrow. You got to go get him. But instead, Sabins kind of just hangs him out to dry. And then Stephen Milam breaks the game open, the 3-run double to make it 4-0. LSU tacks on another, make it 5-0. Or it eventually becomes 6-0, excuse me. But you've got the thing right there. What's the final line on runners in scoring position? Can we look at that real quick?
Yeah, I'm going to put that real quick, but I just want to put this out. Carsona's only pitched 2 innings.
67 pitches.
Total pitches, yeah. They were eating that pitch count, and that was key for LSU. You wanted to eat in that pitch count to get to their bullpen because West Virginia's bullpen was really suspect. And Chase Meyer is probably one of the better bullpen guys, but even he was struggling at times. Just LSU can pull through, but eventually they did. But kind of going to the score real quick. So Jake Brown was able to reach on a fielder score, which allowed Derek Carroll to score home. Derek Carroll actually opened up the game with a base hit with 2 outs. Stephen Milam hit a 3-run double that opened up the game. So LSU went up 4-0 in the bottom of the second. By the way, that was with 2 outs, by the way.
Yep.
That was with 2 outs, like Zach said. Jake Brown also had an RBI single. That was the second RBI of the game, which allowed Milam to score to open up 5-0. And we mentioned this too, Zach. I mentioned this in the preview show, the preview show we did. I did with Alex Day, and I even said it. I think I may have said it even in the post game reaction show for game 1. I said West Virginia is a below average fielding team. Yep. And you saw that when Jared Jones popped it up a little bit outside the infield, and the second baseman can't figure where the ball was going, and it dropped right behind him. It wasn't an error because he didn't touch the ball, I think. And then
it was a cinch. It may as well have been there. Yeah.
Yeah, and it probably should have been there, but Jared Jones is credited with the RBI single, and LSU up to the game 6-0. But then it looked like LSU got a little bit comfortable, and I think that was part of the issue. Sam White for West Virginia, he gave West Virginia their first run of the game with a solo shot, and then later in that inning with 2 outs, um, Anthony Ianson gave up a run home run to I have the roster right here.
And whatever the kid's last name
But
is.
loves in hold on. Oh, here you go. It's where is it at? I just saw it. Hold on.
It's like Brennan
Oh,
Lumsden.
Ben Lovesden. Ben Lovesden.
And this
They gave
isn't a
up
power hitting team either.
no, and really it was weird too because the wind was blowing out the stadium, but it wasn't blowing that hard. So like there's a lot of times where LSU hit the ball deep, but it just stopped at the warning track. If the wind was blowing a little bit farther, you probably would have saw a lot more home runs from both teams. And really both those home runs were like line drives. They weren't
Yeah.
even like bombs. They were just like straight up line drives and it just kept traveling.
Yeah.
They're
Remember,
hit hard enough.
Stanfield missed one by just a little bit. So, like you're saying, if there's a little bit more wind, that one that Stanfield hit out, I can't remember what inning it was, but Stanfield just missed one. To your point about maybe a few more home runs that kind of died out there.
Yeah, there's a couple more as well, but Stanfield was the one where like I thought that was going out. I
Yeah.
thought that was the one that should have gone out.
Yeah.
But all of West Virginia's both of West Virginia's home runs were just straight up, just hard hit line drive that just kept traveling.
Not Jake Browns though.
Yeah, but luckily
Not Jake Browns.
But luckily for LSU, they were able to wake up again. By the way, in another Chris Stanfield, who's been one of your better hitters all year, even though he doesn't really produce a lot of runs. He doesn't bring in runs, but he is a great hitter. And Chris Stanfield also is a veteran on the team. He's one of the few seniors in the starting lineup. Chris Stanfield, uh, lined a two RBI single to the rest of the field, which allowed Reeves and Dickinson to score home. And then Ethan Fry reached on a throwing error. Speaking of fielding errors, which allowed Creole to score, and that was a pop up too. That was the same situation. So there's two pop up situations where West Virginia completely fumbled it, and allowed another run to score home. So it is now 9-4 LSU, and then Stevie Milan comes up big once again with an RBI double to right field. By the way, Ethan Fry made had a hell of a base running effort. He was at first base, and the thing when Stevie Milan hit the ball, it went straight to the corner. So it bought Ethan Fry some time to go from first base all the way home. It was a great hustle effort. And then Jake Brown capped it all off with a 2-run homer to center field, was over dead center, which is over like 405 feet. So it could have been like, I'm not sure what the exact distance was. I think LSU may have it on their one of their Twitter profile. I think they have on maybe their baseball data thing. But it was definitely over 405 feet. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, just murdered that ball. Imagine that's in Tennessee's little bandbox of the stadium. That's like 600 feet in Knoxville.
Yeah. Oh, 470 feet. That was the official distance.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was an absolute bomb. But then Jace Reinhardt hit a home run, which by the way was West Virginia's third of the day. I mean, all their runs come off of homers. Which I mean, they weren't even just straight like hit after hit after hit. It was just straight up just hit the ball hard and just managed to go out. Because I mean, two of their home runs were just straight up line drives and just kept traveling. But going over the stats one more time, Stephen Milam went 2 for 4 with 4 RBIs. Jake Brown 2 for 4 as well with 4 RBIs. Jared Jones went 3 for 4 with an RBI, and Chris Stanfield went 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Anthony Knights was credited with the win. He pitched five innings with 4 runs, scored on 5 hits. All of the runs were earned, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, uh, and he picked up his 11th win of the year. Not, I would say his one of his best starts, but it was solid enough to earn the win. I mean, he still did pretty well. I mean, really, all those runs, like I said, all those runs were allowed off of home runs. Maybe besides one of them, but like, I mean, it wasn't like he had a bad outing. I mean, West Virginia's a very good hitting team. I don't think it's anything you should be worried about. They did hit off of Kate Anderson pretty good, but that was a favorable match to West Virginia because Kate Anderson is a lefty. 3 of the top 4 batters in West Virginia's lineups are lefties. Cooper Williams also had a great outing. He pitched for 2.2 innings with a strike.
Health MVP of the
One
game.
right, and also his one run was off of a home run. By the way, that home run was only his second earned run since April 26th or whatever.
Yeah,
Like
we've been
that,
talking. We've been talking for a couple weeks about like LSU is going to need like some unexpected efforts from bullpen guys you wouldn't really think about. Cooper Williams is proving to be that guy. Like he's kind of flown under the radar. Cooper Williams, he's a freshman, and maybe that's why we don't talk about him. But he's throwing strikes, and he could really be some like God forbid LSU end up in a losers bracket game, but he's really working his way up a list of arms that I trust. After Anderson, Ianson, Evans, I think I trust Cooper Williams more than anybody else.
yeah, definitely. I mean, Cooper. I mean, it's not like I still think Zach Collins is still a very good pitcher. I know he's had his struggles late, but like for most of the year, he was a solid pitcher, and he's a veteran. Like, and there's some chart like I saw like F1's about to die. But yeah, these ones, so I gotta plug them up or probably take them off anyway. But what I was gonna say was Cooper Williams. Actually, let me take them off right now because that Barry Lowe thing will distract me.
But yeah, going back to what I was saying was that if you so if the reason why he didn't go with Zach Collins was strictly a matchup thing. If LSU were to lose that game, Mason Evans would have started off, and then they would have gone with Zach Collins, which is something they've done for most of the year. Cooper Williams is a great pitcher, but they're not. He's not going to be used like a Mason Evans or a Zach Cowan type role. Um, and it's not because he's not as good as them or he's bad or but it's just right now he's a freshman, right? And you want to use him in certain situations, but I think his role will be expanded because of how well he's pitched in these last 2 outings when his name was called upon. And they were both in high pressure situations. Remember, the last outing he had against Little Rock, that was a very tight situation. That was I think LSU was down, I think by 1 run or 2.
Yeah, that was the game they lost, and he kept throwing up zeros, and he gave you a chance to kind of get back in it.
Yeah, and then in this game, he kind of kept West Virginia at bay long enough to allow LSU's bats to come through. So he's done a great, and he's done a great job all year. And actually, I wrote it down too. But in his last 6 innings pitched, which were the 2 regional, this game and then the regional game, Little Rock, the one that LSU lost, he has thrown 5 strikeouts and has only had 2 walks. And then I already mentioned this too. But from April 26th all the way up to last night, he had only allowed 2 earned runs. The second one came off the home run from last night, and he's also only allowed 3 walks, and he has hurled 10 Ks. And he really hasn't pitched that much all year. He's only thrown, I believe, 19.2 innings this season. He really hasn't. He's had 19, 20 appearances, but he hasn't thrown that many innings. So he's done a great job despite the lack of innings. So I think his role is going to be expanded upon once you get to Omaha. And I also want to mention too, Derek Carriel and Stephen Milam throughout the postseason, really, especially Stephen Milam, considering how much flack we have given him. It's not because we hate Stephen Milam, it's because we expect better from him. Based off of his freshman year last year, I mean, he was incredible, and he batted 200 for most of SEC play. But since the postseason started, 8 for 19 from the plate with 3 doubles, a home run, and 11 RBIs. He also scored 9 runs based off of getting on base. And the reason why he's able to get on base is because he forced 10 walks. And if you look at his on base percentage, 633. He got on base more than 60% of the time. And Derek Trio, same thing. But Derek Trio was a great hitter. I mean, he was first or second on LSU's team with in batting average, and he went 10 for 22 with 3 doubles, a home run, and 7 RBIs. He also got on base 62.5% of the time, so 625, and he also forced 9 walks. And LSU, not only did they get on base, but like I said, they converted whenever they had guys on base, and that's something that we have been harping on throughout most of the season. It's not their lack of hitting, it's their lack of timely hitting. And if you look right here for game 2, LSU went 6 for 16 with 2 outs. They scored 9 of their 12 runs in 2-out situations. They were 5 for 12 with runners in scoring position. In the leadoff, they went 4 for 9. With runners on third with less than 2 outs, they went 2 for 3. And, of course, they converted on both of their bases loaded opportunities.
This offense works so much better when Milam is getting on base. I know we've been kind of like bemoaning like the struggles that Jared Jones has had, but it really does seem like Milam is the difference maker. I don't know if it's just because of where he is in the lineup, being, he's been hitting upwards like in the 3-hole lately, and sometimes in like the 4 or 5. I don't know if it's also because he's the switch hitter, so you can always have the advantageous matchup depending on who's on the mound. But this offense clicks or it hits a new gear rather when Milam is getting on base, and postseason Milam is a real thing, as Musso likes to say. So he's finding his stride. He's seeing the ball so much better. He's taking his walks. He's getting on base. He's letting people like Jones and Brown bring him home, and he's a real weapon when he's locked in like this.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a completely different lineup when Stephen Milam's hitting the ball. I mean, Jared Jones went through a slump, and a lot of players have gone through. Even Dylan Cruz went through a slump in the national championship season. So, I mean, all good players are going to eventually find their way into a slump, and Jared Jones had that. I mean, he went 3 for 27 going into the winner go home game in the regional, and of course, when he hit that home run, I really do believe that was a huge confidence boost, because he needed that. Because not only did he get a hit, it was a massive home run that sealed the deal for LSU to advance to the Super Regional. And of course, he came and he carried that forward. I mean, in the Super Regional, he had it 4 for 8. In the regional, and then he went 3 for 4 last night. So just, it's great to see everyone eating, right? Josh Pearson had the Grand Slam home run. Luis Hernandez has come through at times throughout the postseason. Who else? Ethan Fry. I mean, Ethan Fry didn't really do anything yesterday, but Ethan Fry has been a great hitter, not only throughout the season, but at times throughout the postseason. It's just great to see everyone in the lineup getting a chance to eat and eat well.